Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper, guys. And before getting started, I want to make a small announcement. We launched new batch for Prelims Cum Mains Foundation course yesterday itself. Admissions are going on. So try to take admission by the end of this week, guys. And one more thing that I want to say is we are going to provide both on online and offline. And if you have any queries regarding this course, you can contact us on this number 8074765513, or else you can directly meet me in office. The office is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad, guys, exactly above Vikas Book Center, second and third floor. Okay, let us see the first important article. So look at the title, guys. GDP growth quickens to 5-quarter high of 7.8%. So what is this article talking about? So this article talking about GDP. What is this GDP? GDP is gross domestic product. Okay, so let us see this article. So this article is talking about especially GDP. GDP is nothing but gross domestic product. And this article is saying that GDP is 7.8% in India. Okay, so in which subject you will study about your GDP? In GS paper 3 under economy. That means this article is important from your economy, from prelims point of view, because you will be studying about this GDP, GNP, GNP in your national income topic, and every year you can expect a question regarding those indices in your prelims paper, guys. It is very, very important. Okay, so now what is happening in our economy? So in our yesterday's class, we discussed that in our economy we have lots of problems. So in that problems, one problem is there is no increasing of GDP number. There is a thing that we discussed in yesterday's class. But today's article is saying that here there is increasing of GDP in India, especially we have 5-quarter high, means nothing but from last how many months? Around 15, okay, around 16 months. So we have highest GDP now. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said in this article. That is, if you see in the month of April, June 2025, now the GDP of India is 7.8%. So here you have to see about what are the reasons why there is increasing of GDP. So what do you think so? So now on another side, we are seeing that from 27th August 2025, 50% of US tariffs on Indian goods application started. Yes or no? But how this growth happened? So actually we are talking about this tariffs whenever this Trump 2.0 era started, right? So because of this fear of tariffs, what happened? So especially US buyers already bought Indian goods before this 27th August. That is the first important reason that contributed to increasing of high. Normally, if you want to apply this for normal scenario, if normally we can say in middle class families, if there is any news that petrol prices will be increased by 1 rupee or 2 rupees in the newspaper itself, before day till night we can see lots of queues that we can see in front of this petrol bunks, right? That means normally if there is any increasing of price going to happen, if you are getting that kind of forecast, so people will become ready and will become alert, and they'll buy the goods which are necessary for them. In the same way, before this application of this tariffs on India, especially Indian goods, that is 50% of tariff on this 27th August, before itself most of the US buyers, they bought more number of goods from India. That is a one important reason that led to temporary increase of GDP. It is not permanent. Okay, and apart from that, government is taking lots of steps to boost our manufacturing sector. Yes, so because of that steps, finally that led to increasing of GDP. And apart from that, here this year we have La Nina, that is good rainfall, good monsoon. So because of this, there is also increased agriculture GDP, which is contributing from this primary sector. So because of all these reasons, now we can see there is a good GDP. So here what you have to see from static. So you have to see about what is this GDP. GDP is nothing but the total value of final goods which are produced in a country within 1 year is called as GDP. So here you have to see about What are the GDP calculating methods in India? We have income method, expenditure method, and value added method. You have to see this, and you have to see what all are included in this GDP, like whether this care work of women is included or not, whether the secondary, that is nothing but second hand goods are included or not. So like that, you have to see what are the exemptions under this GDP, because on these exemptions UPSC can ask a question in your prelims case. Okay, now let us see exactly what is given in this article and how you can relate this with your syllabus. So India's GDP growth quickened to a 5-quarter high, and now it is 7.8% for the April-June 2025 quarter. So here, what are the official expectations that we have? Like, we thought that there will be decreasing of this GDP of our country because of lots of uncertainties in our economy, and as well as because of this US-India tariff, whatever it may be. But here, yes, there is high GDP recorded in our country. Why? Because of increasing of contributions from the service sector and even manufacturing sector, and as well as service sector. Okay, so actually if you compare with the previous quarter, in previous quarter India's GDP is 7.4%, and actually many forecasts they said that India's GDP will not be more than 6.7%, but now it is 7.8%. And because of this we can say that yes, India can achieve its target of world third largest economy soon. So that is also one prediction now we came out. Okay, and if you see here, the growth especially very strong in the service sector, it is about 9.3%, and even we have some positive contributions from this manufacturing sector and as well as agriculture sector now. Okay, now let us see what are the reasons behind this acceleration, especially it is very important. The first one is favorable deflator effect. What is deflation? It is opposite to inflation, right? So what is inflation? Inflation is nothing but there is increased price rise in the market is called as inflation. Opposite to that, whenever there is decreased price in the market, that is called as deflation. And whenever there is a decreased price in the market, what happens? Can we boost the demands from the people? So what happens whenever the price decreases, the demand will be also increased. So because of this, we can go for more production, and that will lead to our contribution to our GDP. The first thing which happened here is government took some steps, and as well as RBI took some steps to control inflation. So what are the steps taken by the government? It is called as fiscal policy. The steps taken by RBI is called as monetary policy. So what RBI took steps in this monetary policy? It decreased repo rate. And even what government did? Government increased public spending. So because of these, yes, there is decreased price rise, and because of that, that led to increased purchasing power of people and increased demands from the people. Overall, that led to increased production from manufacturing sector. And second important reason here is government spending had been increased, especially in transport, railways, ports, airports. That led to increase in momentum in the people, increase in money supply in the market. And this one is strong service sector momentum. So India is going for digitalization, and even India is focusing on increasing of manufacturing of semiconductors in India. Semiconductor mission government came up with, and even government came up with expansion of this banking sector, IT sector, tourism services. So that led to the overall improvement of our economy. And this one here is government is also focusing a lot in our manufacturing, especially government came up with this Make in India concepts, PLI, employment intensive scheme. So because of all those things, that led to increasing of manufacturing. And even temporarily there is increased exports from our country to US because of the short-term lift that led to increased production in our manufacturing units. And this one here is even there is increased improvement in our agriculture because of continuously we are having this La Nina from last 4 years. So because of all these reasons, yes, that led to increase the number in our GDP, guys. Okay, that's the thing. And what are the challenges we have? In future, already you know that 50% of tariffs imposition started on Indian goods from 27th onwards. So it is a one important challenge on our future growth of our economy. And next one here is export headwinds. So there will be reduced export opportunities to US now because of this tariff issue. And next one here is government is going to come up with the target policy interventions, and government wants to mitigate adverse impacts of this tariff. Again, it is also one important challenge we have. And this one here is government wants to come up with the rationalization of this GST slabs, right? So government want to remove certain GST slabs and they want to add that goods coming under that slab into another slab. So this is also very big challenge whether we are going to implement on time or not. So these are the some challenges that we are going to have in the near future. And now let us see the next article. See the title, guys. PM vows India will become third largest economy weeks after Trump's debt swipe. So what is this article talking about? So actually Donald Trump made a statement on Indian economy. So this statement by this US Donald Trump is, yes, we are going to impose this 50% of tariff on Indian goods. Because of this, Indian economy will be dead. So that is a statement which is given by US President. So actually, you know that our Indian Prime Minister is on visit to Japan. So from last 7 years, he didn't go to Japan, and after 7 years, he went to Japan for a meet. So in this meet, to counter that statement given by Donald Trump, our Prime Minister, he made a statement that is, India is going to become third largest economy soon. Okay, so because of this is very, very important. Whenever any countries delegates, if they make any negative statements or positive statements regarding India, so obviously sentiments of people will be getting hurted. It will be having impact on our governance, right? So here you have to know about which kind of statements made by which countries. So based on that statements, we can analyze how the diplomacy is going on between our country and that country, whether we can maintain the good relations or not, or else whether we have any challenges in future or not. We can understand that. So you can see that kind of statements. And here our Prime Minister is on visit to Japan. In this visit, he made one statement that is, India is going to achieve this third largest economy. Okay, so the key word here is third largest economy. Now you guys tell me, is that possible? How India can become the third largest economy based on your assumptions? Tell me. Economy is done. Okay, so we can increase exports. Next. So we can increase our exports. Apart from that, what steps can we take? For example, you are advisor for Ministry of Economy, like Ministry of Finance or Ministry of Industries. Now, which kind of advices that you can give so that we can achieve this target? So whenever our Prime Minister is making this kind of statements, that will be increased pressure on these IAS officers. Do you know? So they have to give advices and they have to implement all these policies and plans. So you will be the part of this implementation, right? So now you guys you have to advise like what steps we can take to achieve this target. Because always you have to support the government. You should not work against the government, right? Now tell me, what are the advices that you can give so that we can achieve our target of third largest economy in the world? One is increase, yes, supporting SMEs, small and medium enterprises, very good. Next, what can we do? So think, guys, you have to think. You should not be idle. Small and medium enterprises. What about students who are completing their graduation? Can we use them or not? How can we use them? Skill. Okay, we can enhance skill in those students so that we can generate some employment opportunities. Apart from that, so can government provide jobs for each and every graduate who completed their graduation? Is that possible? Can everyone get government jobs only? Then how can we use that potential? So we can encourage them to become entrepreneur or entrepreneurship. They have to start their own startups. Yes. So whenever a person who is interested to start their business, what happened? So they will hire some persons to help them so that we can decrease unemployment problem in our country, because government cannot provide government jobs for each and every student who completed their graduation, that is for sure, right? So because of this, here government need to encourage this entrepreneurship. That means the skill to start the startups in our country so that we can address this problem of unemployment. And next, government can provide some incentives for this manufacturing sectors. Like we have one scheme called as PLI, Production Linked Incentive Scheme. So this scheme says that you increase production, I'll give you incentives. So in the same way, this PLI scheme should be extended to other sectors as well. Next, government can come up with FTAs, yes or no? So we are going to be affected by this US tariffs. So we have to bypass that. That means we have to go and sign this FTAs with other countries where we can go for exports of our Indian goods, right? So now let us see this article clearly. And this is very important article of the day, guys. So if you see the context, it says that Trump had called India's economy dead following a new round of US import tariffs, 25% that is under this Russian Sanction Act, total 50% of tariffs, which are targeting this Indian goods, and criticized India's ties with Russia. So because of this, we are going to have lots of impact in entire world, guys. Because if any one country is making any criticizing statement against India, it will be affecting foreign investments that are going to come and invest in our country. So because of this, we want to strike it back. So for that, our Prime Minister, he said that, yes, India is going to be a third largest economy soon. The investors who want to invest, so try to choose this India as the safest place to invest. That is the thing which mainly said by our Prime Minister in his visit. So what drives this Modi's view? So that one here is, he said that India moved from world's 10th largest economy. Actually, when he came into power in 2014, India's place was 10th largest economy. And by this 2025, India is the 5th largest. So because of this achievement he made in his period, so he has a lot of confidence that, yes, we are going to take further more steps and we want to place India in the third largest economy in the world. The first reason is that. And this one here is, as you all know that in the first article we discussed, India's GDP is 7.8%, that is 5-quarter high. So because of this, we can say that we are outpacing major economies in the world. And even he also highlighted that there is increased local demand for the goods and services, and we are going for digitalization, and we are providing strong services, and even government is reviving this manufacturing sector. So because of this, yes, we can reach this target. That is the second reason why he said. And third one here is, government is mainly coming up with some structural reforms. So what are those reforms? Recently government said we are going to simplify this GST slabs. And this one is, we are going to invest in this infrastructure, and even we are going to attract more FDI and FII. What is FDI? Foreign direct investment and foreign institutional investments. And even we are focusing on vocal for local, that is Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliance or self-production in our country. So because of all these things, we are going to be resilient against global shocks. And the fourth important reason, he said that, yes, there is raising of protectionism strategies of US, and even Western trade pressures are increasing. But India is very strong with this Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliance. That is the thing he mainly said. Okay. And what is the impact and implications of this statement? So government wants to improve our domestic economy. So this policy drive is likely to accelerate the reforms in our economy. For example, we are focusing on improving of infrastructure, digitalization, clean energy, and one important thing here is government is focusing on providing of support for this small and medium enterprises. And this one here is, especially government is focusing on increasing of support for this small and medium enterprises in the rural areas, so that we can take the help from this rural area people. And this one here is, India can achieve this third spot that would alleviate this India's voice, and India can also negotiate in this world stage, including certain forums like G20 and as well as United Nations. So India wants to become a big power across the world. And next one here is we can also focus on India's growth narratives, and especially we are focusing on multiple stakeholders now, like businesses, citizens, politicians, around the national pride and as well as self-sufficiency. So that's the thing which mainly said. And see this article, guys. Bihar cabinet approves new aid scheme to help women start business. So what is this article talking about? It is talking about startups, and they are focusing on especially women. That means, can we add this topic under women empowerment? So women empowerment is an area where UPSC is very interested, and every year in mains you will be getting question, and even in your essay also you can get essays regarding this women empowerment related themes, guys. And this is very important. If you are getting this kind of government support to women, you have to make a note and you have to quote them wherever you are writing about this women empowerment. So this article is talking about one scheme Bihar is going to come up, and name of that scheme, please make a note here. Mukhyamantri Mahila Rozgar Yojana. So Bihar government is coming up with a scheme called as Mukhyamantri Mahila Rozgar Yojana. And actually this scheme, which is mainly providing financial aid to women from every family, one woman from every family in the state to start their business of their choice. And they'll be getting around 10,000 rupees as the first installments. So whenever women are entering or whenever they are starting their own startups, then what happens? They can create employment. So for that, what is the thing that we require? We require enhancement of skill. And which kind of startups they can start? For example, embroidery work, for example, sari business or textiles business, for example, footwear business, and even homemade products business, pickles business. Okay, so like that, they need a skill, and even solar lighting business, agarbatti business, and even nowadays, there are certain equipments which are coming in the market so that they can make these plates, paper plates, glasses, and even, do you know this doop sticks? So like that, and even this, tobacco na. So we should not talk about that. So actually, they can start small startups with a very minimal investment. So in that way, here Bihar government is focusing. And here why Bihar is now focusing on women empowerment? What is the literacy rate here? Very low or high? Elections, huh? So here actually in Bihar there is very low literacy rate. If they have to do job, they have to do only government job, or else they have to shift to southern states and they have to do migrant labor work. So these are the only choices that the people of this Bihar have. So because of this, they are coming up with this kind of schemes for empowering of women. So if a woman in a family is empowered, entire that family is empowered, right? So this is a famous quote. So they are focusing on empowering of women, and for this they are also going to come up with some skill development, skill enhancement in women, guys. Okay, yeah. So this next article, Ice Age era dragonfly rediscovered. So what is this article talking about? It's talking about one dragonfly, and this dragonfly belongs to Ice Age. So at that time we have dinosaurs. That means the dragonfly which used to be there in that period of dinosaurs, again they found or rediscovered that same dragonfly. So here how this article is important. So we can say that the climate change is happening, yes. So for that change of climate change, there is one evidence that we can quote here is rediscovery of Ice Age era or this dinosaurs era dragonfly now once again. So from which subject it is important? It is important from environment and ecology. Okay, now let us see this article. 75 million years old, see the age. 75 million years old Ice Age era dragonfly species was recently rediscovered in one dinosaur provincial park in Canada. So the first time it marked this first dinosaur era dragonfly ever found in the country. So actually it is filling the whatever the fossil gap that we have from that time to this time. Okay, so this fossilized dragonfly name is Cordeludensa arconi, and it was discovered accidentally during a paleontology field course by one student who is from McGill University. And actually it is a single partial wing fossil. It is having only single wing. Okay, okay, let us see this point. So dragonfly was about a size of human hand. It is very, very big. It is not like the dragonfly which is now, what is the size now. So it is like human hand size, and actually it played a very, very important role at that time as a predator and as well as food. So actually it was used to eat small arthropods, and even dinosaurs used to consume this dragonfly as their food, guys. So because of this, it played a very, very important ecological role at that time, and again they rediscovered the same species once again. So what is the scientific importance and evolutionary context here? So this discovery which mainly fills whatever the gap that we have in this fossil fuels record. And next one here is we can understand like how this dragonfly of that time which had been survived, which had been adapted to changing of environment, changing of climate, and now which kind of changes that we can see in that dragonfly. So based on that we can do reverse study and we can go back to that era, and we can understand what changes that led to the changes in this organs of this dragonfly. And next one here is we can also understand how this migration which is seen in this dragonfly, and whether this dragonfly migration is similar to the present day's dragonfly migration routes or not, and what are the changes that are there in this present dragonfly and that kind of dragonfly. We can understand that, and we can go for detailed taxonomic study, and we can also create a new family in this Odonta, that is nothing but the family where we'll keep this dragonflies, guys. So that is about this topic. And say this article, 8 states propose imposing cess on sin luxury goods above 40% GST rate. So what is this article talking about? One important keyword, what is that? Cess. Okay, so where you will be studying about this cess? In which subject? So you will be coming across these two words called as cess and surcharge. So what is the difference between this cess and surcharge? Is there any difference, or those two are same? Same? No change? But why they gave two names? So actually this cess and surcharge both are tax on tax. Yes or no? So whatever the government is imposing tax, on this tax, they will again impose certain percentage of tax you are called as cess or surcharge. But there is a basic difference between this cess and surcharge. There is nothing but government will be collecting this tax on tax for a certain purpose. For example, Swachh Bharat cess, that means for cleaning. For example, Krishi Kalyan cess, or for example, education cess. So if they are imposing the tax on tax for a specific purpose, and they will be using that money for that purpose only, that is called as cess. But without any purpose, if they are collecting tax on tax, that is called as surcharge. Okay, so that is a basic difference. With a purpose, if the government is collecting tax on tax, that is called as cess. Without any purpose, government is collecting tax and they can use it for any other purpose, whatever it may be, then it is called as surcharge. And this topic is very important. Already UPSC asked question 2021 in your prelims regarding differences between this cess and surcharge. Okay, now let us see exactly what are the difference between this surcharge and cess. So both are tax on tax. So if government is imposing for a specific purpose like education, health, infrastructure, then that is called as cess. Without any purpose, if they are enhancing or if they are imposing that, that is called as surcharge. And this surcharge will be imposed only on high income taxpayers, and on all taxpayers irrespective of their income, they will be charging for this cess. And it will be calculated on total tax amount, that is surcharge. So cess will be calculated on total tax plus surcharge. and there is a fixed rate for cess, that is 4%, and for this surcharge there is no fixed income. If your income is more, that surcharge will be also increasing. Okay, that is the thing. And actually both the cess and surcharge, they will be not shared by the states, by the central government. Central government will be using it. And now let us see the next article. See the title, guys. Calm before storm. So actually this article is saying that the fallout from probable job losses needs to be addressed. So this article is talking about one important topic. So what is that is, US is imposing 50% of tariff on our Indian goods. And which sectors are going to be affected? Majorly textiles, garments, next leather goods, shrimp cultivation, gold and jewelry, and next chemicals or some auto parts. So these are services. Okay, auto parts. Normally these are the manufacturing areas which are getting affected. So all these comes under especially labor intensive sector. That means they need more manpower or they need more labor to produce that goods. So because of this 50% of tariff, then what happened on Indian goods? We are going to reduce our exports to this US. Yes or no? So whenever there is decreasing of exports, earlier if you go back before this imposition of these tariffs, for example, let us take an example like we are exporting 100 goods to US. To manufacture this 100 goods, we need 10%. But now US is imposing tariffs on Indian goods. Now we cannot export 100 goods. Now we are exporting only just 50 goods to US. So do we need same 10% to produce this 50 goods? How many percents we require? Just 5%. Then what happened? And remaining 5% will be removed from the jobs. That is called as layoffs. So because of layoff, what happens? Unemployment rate increases or decreases? There is increased unemployment rate in India. That is the thing which mainly said in this article. Because of this 50% of imposition of tariffs on India, there is going to be increased unemployment. So here, is that increased unemployment good sign for our economy? Can we reach the third largest economy? Can we reach our developed status by 2047? No. For that, this article is saying that before coming storm, everything will be calm. That means we are going to have this unemployment soon. So because of this, we need to take certain steps to overcome this challenge. Now you guys tell me, how can we reduce this challenge? How can we overcome this challenge of unemployment rate rise or increased layoff in India? So we can go for diversification of goods. Next. Now we have to go for other countries. Skill production or skill improvement. And we can go for PLI extension. The same thing, the same story comes here, okay? And this article is important from your economy, which comes in a GS paper 3. And most of the articles in our today's class are related to economy only, guys. Okay, so this article is saying that the potential fallout or layoff that will lead to probable job losses, especially in some sectors like IT, that is service sector, and even manufacturing sector. Because of this, we are going to have economic, social, and psychological risk. So we need to take some immediate steps to overcome all those risks. So economic impacts, or there will be increased unemployment rate, and if there is increased unemployment, if there is no jobs, will they get salary? No, there will be the wage losses for the people. And next one here is, we are also going to have ripple effect. That means if they are losing the job, if there is increasing of unemployment, there is not only economic loss, but even their family's breadwinner will be not earning the money, so that entire family will be entering into this distress. So if that entire family is not getting the proper amount of money as a salary, then what happen? Will they invest properly on their food and nutrition requirements? No. That will also leads to psychological impacts, and even there will be the societal impacts also. Yes, that is the thing which mainly said. And even nowadays we are going for AI and machine learning, right? So because of this automation, because of this science and technology, even nowadays industries, they are going for layoff, they are going for removal of this humans, and they are incorporating machines in their industries. So because of this, that will leads to further loss of humans, or loss of like skill, loss of everything in this human. So because of this, it is having lots of impact on our economy. So actually there is also some social and psychological consequences. So because of this job loss, that will be also having impact on their mental health, like rising of or increasing of anxiety, increasing of depression, and they will be also going into certain conditions like hallucinations, and even sometimes they will feel like social withdrawal. They will be not going to any parties or any meetings which are organized in a family because of some distress. And next one here is family disruption can also happens. Family finances will be getting affected. Stability will be not there in the family. That will leads to increased stress, increased adverse outcomes for the children. There will be no proper food, malnutrition, no proper education, no proper access to healthcare. So again, they are interconnected. And next one here is there will be also impact on the community and society. So if they're not getting jobs here, then will they stay silent? No, they have to search a job so that they'll be moving on to other areas. That leads to migration, guys. Okay, that's the thing. And next one is what are the strategies that we have to take so that we can address this problem. The first one here is from individual and corporate interventions, we have to go for upskilling or reskilling. So employers and governments, they have to invest in this skill enhancement programs. And this one here is government has to focus on transition support. That means nothing but if there is a layoff is happening, so for that people whose employment had been lost or if their jobs are lost, so government need to focus on career counseling also. Which kind of career? Because there is lack of awareness in the society, like what are the employment opportunities we have. So government needs to go for establishing of help desk for career counseling centers, and mentoring, job placement assistance, and some mental health support also, so that here people can come out of from their emotional distress, and they can also find certain new opportunities. And apart from that, government can come up with this policy level solutions, like we have to focus on improvement of allowances for this unemployment people, and unemployment insurances, direct cash support or subsidized training programs, etc. Next one is government need to focus on targeting of public infrastructure, like development projects, infrastructure, digital access, and incentives for the business to hire, like employment incentive schemes like that. And even we can promote this entrepreneurship and small and medium enterprises, and we have to improve this startup skills in the young generation so that they can create employment opportunities. So all these are the things that you have to focus on, guys. And these are the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and please do like this class and share this class. And one more thing I want to say is we are providing prelims question along with answer and mains question along with model answer, and also current affairs in short in our Instagram page. So please do follow us on our Instagram. Don't forget. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.